everyone, welcome to Reignite Health. My name is Bokz Mthimkulu and I'm here to educate you about biokinetics, health and wellness. So a few years ago I did a video on obesity and I want to redo that video just to give you a better understanding about what obesity is, what you should be looking out for, and ways you can manage and prevent obesity. Alright, let's get into the video. Obesity is seen as a chronic condition, and the reason for this is because it can lead to other conditions that are based on how much you weigh. So for example, obesity can lead to arthritis, which is wear and tear in the knees and the hips from the excess weight. It can lead to lung problems, it can lead to diabetes, elevated cholesterol, elevated blood pressure, some cancers, and so forth. So obesity is kind of like, can be seen as like the starting point for other chronic conditions. And so if we manage and prevent obesity, we can prevent other chronic conditions, bearing in mind that family history and what you eat and all that does play a role. So the general classification or definition for obesity is a BMI, which is a body mass index that is greater than 30, as well as a waist circumference that is greater than 88 centimeters for women and 102 centimeters for men. So we mainly look at your BMI. This is a specific measurement that looks at your weight against your height. So the shorter you are and the more you weigh, the higher the BMI will be. The taller you are, the less you weigh, the lower your BMI will be. And the aim is to get your BMI value between 18.5 and 25. But with that being said, weight has so many factors in it. It's got your bone mass, your muscle mass, fat mass, water retention, all of that play a role in your weight. And so based on certain circumstances, most people or most countries do accept a BMI less than 30. So between 18.5 and 30 would be your best number of a BMI value that you want to get. If it's more than 30, then you're entering the obese category. And this is the category that we want to avoid. This means that your weight is at an excess, and we generally look at what is causing that excess weight. So normally how we do that is we couple the BMI test with a waist circumference test, and that is around your belly button. You look at the centimeters of your waist. Women preferably under 88 centimeters, but worldwide we want to keep it under 80 centimeters, and then for men under 102 centimeters, worldwide under 94 centimeters. So there is a standard norm that we want to keep it under, which is good. We also look at your waist compared to your hips. So if your waist is round or larger in centimeters compared to your hips, it means that most of the fat that you have is distributed in your tummy area, which is where all those vital organs are. And we want that to actually be the other way. So we want more of the fat mass in our hips and less in our stomach. So we also look at that. We look at if you're pear-shaped or if you're apple-shaped. Pear-shaped is what we want you to be. The other thing that we look at is your body fat percentage. So understanding what your body fat percentage is of that weight mass that we get will help us know if there is something that we need to work on that is likely putting you in at a BMI over 30. So if your body fat percentage for women, if it's more than 32%, this also puts you at risk for other chronic conditions and can go hand in hand with a high BMI. And then for men, more than 26% is what we want it to be less than. So if it's more than that, it means that your risks are also higher. But with that being said, just because you are bigger boned or have a bit higher weight, it doesn't necessarily mean that your body fat percentage is going to be high. It might mean that you have more muscle or a more bone density. And just because your weight is not over 30, it does not mean that your body fat percentage is going to be less than 32 or 26 respectively for the groups. So knowing your body fat percentage, and as well as your waist circumference, as well as your BMI, will help you get a proper understanding on whether or not you are obese. And I point this out specifically is because most people believe that if their BMI is over 30, they're obese. It's not always the case. You have to look at other aspects of your health, of your life. Now, why do we have to know if we're obese or not? Because it's, it can cause other issues mainly being diabetes, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. That's the one. And then for more physical symptoms that you could get is arthritis from wear and tear. The more that your body has to carry, the more strain is put on the spine, the hips, as well as the knees and ankles. So later on in life, it can cause wear and tear and arthritis, which leads to a lot of bone pain, which can be avoided with a weight that is less. So we want to work on improving our body mass index, improving our fat percentage, and improving our fat distribution between the waist and the hips, or the waist and the rest of the body. If we keep them in the preferred ranges, we can work to prevent all those other lifestyle chronic conditions. This also being said, if you have high blood pressure, doesn't necessarily mean that you're obese. It might mean that there's a family history of high blood pressure. Your genes and metabolism in your family might lead to a higher metabolism, causing a lower weight. Some people aren't lucky in that sense. And so you might not gain weight as easily as others. Or it could also be your lifestyle, just purely having too much salt, too much inflammatory foods. So pretty much what I'm saying is that just because you may have other chronic conditions doesn't mean that you are likely going to be obese as well, and that it should be seen as an isolated condition that can lead to other conditions, but it is not necessarily the cause of other conditions. It is important to know because it can lead to other conditions, and we want to prevent that overall. So how do we prevent and manage obesity? We want to keep you in a fairly good healthy weight. That's a BMI under 30, a body fat percentage under 32 for females and under 26 for males, and a waist circumference under 102 for males and under 88 for females. That is our preferred. How do we get you there? We work with exercising. We need you moving every single day. And the number one exercise that I believe as a biokineticist every person should be doing without fail is a routine walk every day. 10 to 20 minutes every single day that you have blocked out just to take a walk is very, very, very important, and it's not that strenuous on your body, and it has other health benefits. So go for your walks whenever you can. Also try do activities that will strengthen your glutes, which is your bums, your legs, your arms, which will help you with like doing stuff like getting out of bed, getting off and out of a chair, getting out and into your car, in and out of a bath, all those type of activities. So anything where there's push-ups, where there's squatting, you want to do those daily as well in that routine. So set out 30 minutes a day to do some form of physical activity. The next is diet, or rather let me say food choices. We want to see how you're eating. We want to work on improving how you eat. We want to nourish the body, decrease inflammation, because inflammation can lead to other chronic conditions as well. So we want to eat foods that are not processed, whole foods, from the soil to your stomach, or to the stove then to your stomach, is preferable. So all your fruits and vegetables, we want to get healthy fats, your avos, olive oils, etc. We want to get good whole grains, so your oats, your brown rices, quinoas, couscous, we want to get that into your diet, and your lean, healthy, grass-fed meat. Fish as well, grass-fed chicken, grass-fed beef, and lean cuts of that, to try and limit the amount of fat in our bodies. We also want to decrease our salt intake, so try put less salt on your food so that you can keep healthy overall. So exercise, eating healthy, these help with reducing inflammation. Reducing inflammation does help with other chronic conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure, but also if you are trying to lose weight, it does help with losing weight, because the excess fat in the body causes inflammation. So the aim is to get rid of that excess fat to decrease inflammation and thus decrease other conditions overall. Other activities that are so very important to your weight and your lifestyle and your health is sleeping well. Getting adequate, good quality sleep every night is important for weight. Also getting managing your stresses better so that you don't do the binge drinking or the binge eating or any of that. Getting that in as well is very important for your weight. So these are great ways that you can use to prevent as well as manage obesity. Now, how do you go about it? You've been told that your BMI is high, your waist is out of range, and your body fat percentage is high. What do you do? Where do you go? You've never exercised, you've never eaten well or well regularly, and you don't sleep well, your stress levels are over the top. Where do you go? Who do you ask for help? Firstly, I would say go to a doctor, an integrative doctor, just to make sure that that diagnosis is true, just to make sure that there's no other underlying chronic conditions. Then secondly, start exercising. The best person to see to help you to get to exercising is a biokineticist, which is what I do. What we focus on is making sure that you get to do physical activity in a safe and injury prevention or injury-free environment, to make sure that you're not overdoing it too soon. We teach you on how to move better so that when you are ready to go and do all those fun activities by yourself, you already have that background knowledge and that muscle strength, that muscle memory to keep you going and injury-free. The next is a dietitian or a nutritionist. These people will help you with setting up a good lifestyle routine with regards to how you eat. Also very important to make sure that you see one of those. 3 of the most important people that you need to see. All of them will help with managing chronic conditions, will help with managing any stresses as well, will help improve sleep. That's one of the benefits of exercise, and eating well as well. And then the end goal is to help you lose the weight that you might need to lose. So just a quick tip and trick. You have heard all these funny and great terms that I have told you today, and you're wondering, well, how the hell must I calculate my BMI? I don't know what BMI is. How am I supposed to do that? So I've come up with a cool little way to do it, and all you really need is your height. It won't give you the exact BMI value, but it'll give you an estimate of where you're at. So if you look at your height, I'm going to use mine, and don't judge. Short comes in lots of powers, okay? My height of 159 centimeters tall. I don't know what that is in feet, but we will keep with centimeters because we are South Africans. And so 159 centimeters tall. You want to get rid of the 100, which will leave me with 59. Ideally, 59 kilograms is the weight I should be to be in the ideal BMI range. I then have a leeway because we don't need to be under 25 for BMI all the time. Muscle is heavier than fat. Bone density is a problem as well. Heavy bones, all that metabolism. We're not perfect. But What I then do is say you have a leeway of 10 to 15 kilograms above your ideal weight and 10 below your ideal weight. So for me, less than 75 for me to be in a BMI that is less than 30, right? But ideally you want to weigh your height, if that makes sense, minus the 100. So you don't want to weigh 159, you want to weigh 59. Guys, thank you for listening, for tuning in. I hope this is useful to all of you. If you have any comments or concerns and want to know more about obesity and other chronic conditions that it can cause, as well as the role inflammation plays on the body, please do leave a comment or send me a message and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to share this video. Obesity is one of the leading causes of death worldwide today, so let's get more people knowing about it and help them on this journey to losing weight and to being healthy and preventing death. All right, don't forget to subscribe as well. I hope you guys have a fabulous week ahead. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye. Sorry, allergies. But thanks guys for watching. If you want to see more videos, do click on one of them over here, or if you want to see my channel, do click on the little round thingy at the bottom of this page thing. All right guys, I will definitely see you soon with a new video about my life, my journey, or health condition. Enjoy, hop on board, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.